Welcome to Blacksmither Radio, where women blacksmiths share their tricks of the trade. And their secrets of world domination. Oh no, I mean their secrets of success. And now, your host, who else than blacksmiths in a skirt, Victoria Patty.
Hey everybody, Victoria Patty here. Thank you so much for listening. This is Blacksmither Radio's episode 01, the very first podcast of hopefully many more to come. I'm hoping to provide a host of resources, information, and connections to female blacksmiths of all ages and all ability levels, from the young novice to the experienced and professionals that have decades of metalworking experience. And today, I thought I would start the first podcast with Payne and Chassen. She is the founder of Angels and Anvils, which is a Facebook group of all women blacksmiths and welders. And I believe the members are now up and over 200 of women blacksmiths in there. I was able to get Payne into my shop here in Colorado for 4 hours. Actually, Payne stayed with me for, I think, about 4 days. And we were able to spend a whole bunch of time in the shop working with fire and hot metal. And this was the second time we were able to do that. The first time we hung out in Lex Johnson's shop. Thank you, Lex, for that shop time, by the way. He lives down in Salida, Colorado. And Payne and I had a really fun day working with heating up metal and using an air compressor to blow it up like pillows. So we ended up making little tiny kayaks. The little mini kayaks came out really great that day. And so this interview here today is actually taking place right after we spent about 4 or 5 hours in my shop, which is just outside of Denver. But we had a great time. She is so much fun to hang out with in the shop, and it's I hope to have her back in the shop again at any time because she is so fun to be around. So, without further ado, here is the interview right after our shop time. Enjoy. All right. All right. Here we are, everybody, with Payne and, how do you say your last name?
Chassen.
Chassen.
Yeah.
In sunny, tornado-y Colorado. Yeah,
rainy day.
5 tornadoes touched down in the Denver area today.
In Victoria's studio.
And it didn't stop us one bit from hanging out in the shop for a good 4 hours today, probably.
Easy. 4 hours.
And we're just getting done with that 4 hours, hence the nicely dirty attire.
Dirty girls.
Yeah, okay, so let's get down to the interview.
Let's do it.
You know what I really want to talk about,
Okay,
Payne?
alright, what do you want to talk about?
Is Angels and Anvils.
Angels and Anvils.
Tell me, when was it started?
February of this year, 2014. Well, the idea was last fall.
Last fall.
But,
let's talk about that. What brought you to the idea?
just metalworking and not having female resources, you know. Male dominant thing, trying to find other women that are into metalsmithing.
And so, what brought you to metalsmithing?
I think like most of us, I started in welding, you know, and it just kind of went into that.
Okay, so then I'm going to back up again. Where did you go, how'd you learn welding? Where did you go for welding?
I took like a general college, you know, course, basic welding, and then several years later I took a trade school, a couple semesters in a trade school, got a welding job, and you know, it just went from there.
How long ago was that?
2004.
2004?
Yeah. I went to trade school in 2004. At 40, I started trade school for welding.
7 years ago, right?
Yeah?
No.
No?
Is that right?
It'd be 10 years.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at math. Okay, so 10 years ago you started welding. You started a passion for metal.
Yep.
And
got into sculpture.
Functional
art, really. I got into tables and making stuff for myself instead of buying it.
Okay. All right. How'd that go? How many pieces did you make?
You know, a table here, a table there, benches, you know, stuff for outside, stuff for the shop.
Were you happy with the finished product?
Yeah, it's nice to make something for yourself, you know.
Were they all metal or wood mixed in there or what?
Yeah, I like to put wood in there. I like mixing stuff. It's fun.
Okay, fast forward. So you made a couple sculptures, welding sculptures, and then what? I want to bring you up to date to Angels and Anvils and what?
Let's see. From here on out, it's just been this crazy getting to know women metalsmiths from every level, from silversmithing on to, you know, fabricating, welding, and farriers, and, you know, extreme metal artists. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of them out there. I didn't realize. I have 194 girls in my group in less than 5 months, and they're all metal workers.
Oh, that's amazing.
It blows my mind.
So amazing.
Since February.
And they're all from around the world.
Yep. Poland, Russia, you name it. Everywhere in the United States. It's been great. You yourself actually had someone suggest to you when you were at events.
I did!
Yeah.
I did.
Girl said to you, do you know about this group, Angels and Anvils? It's just neat that people can...
I did. Her name was Lo Brooks. She was awesome. She's a beginning smith in Savannah. Well, you know, I think she might have been from Atlanta. Anyway, we met in Savannah, Georgia at a blacksmithing event called Both Sides of the Fence. What brought you to the idea of starting a Facebook group for women?
Just trying to find women. Every once in a great while, you run into a woman farrier or some kind of metalsmith, and then that would be it. You know, you bump into them, and the guys, they have their groups, they have their guy time, they have their bonding moments because it's so male dominant, but you just don't see groups of women. It's nice to be working around a woman because we just think of things differently. We look at it differently, and
that's right. We do.
We approach it in a whole different level.
We do. And that's what
it's not just making tools.
Out.
I mean, I like making tools. That's great.
Yeah.
But making art out of metal, that's just... it's amazing. It's almost... I have to say it's better than sex sometimes.
Making art?
Making metal art's gotta be... Yeah, it's gotta be up there.
Woo.
You're physically involved.
Might be number 2.
Yeah.
Alright, so, how did you come up with the name? Angels and Anvils. I love it.
Well, you know, it's not a bunch of burly guys hanging out around an anvil. It's some angels. And I think it's just perfect. Fragile yet intense and heavy, and
did it just come to you one day? Or
it's just like a light. It came on like a light. And I went straight and got the website domain name. I went straight and got the group page going. Linda Murphy and Patty Young were really kind to just refer as many girls as they could. In my first 2 weeks, I had 100 girls.
Wow.
And it just it just went crazy. It just went crazy. Daily, you know, dozens of girls a day that first week.
Yeah.
It was like wildfire. And I have guys that want to try and get in, but I always nicely say, this is a ladies' members only, you know, stop in and say hi, but unless you want to put on...
Didn't you say that some guy said, I'll dress up as a girl?
Well, I tried to get guys to dress up as a woman and put on a dress and a wig, but I haven't had any really good volunteers that have submitted a photo.
On their Facebook?
Yeah, well, they have to submit a photo of themselves next to the anvil, dressed like a woman, with their tongs and their hammer, to me at Angels and Anvils, and
you'll give them access.
I'll give them membership probably. It depends. I don't know.
I don't know. Limited time.
Limited time, maybe. I don't know. Give them small chunks of all the women at once. It'd be too much for any man anyway. 100 and 200 women at once. I don't know.
Right. All right, so you know what else I wanted to touch on was Patty Young. Tell me about her and how she's in your life and what's going on there.
My first job out of trade school, I was building fire trucks in Boise. And I was looking for female artists in Boise to apprentice for and pick up any trade skills that I could artistically. Because up until that point it was just welding and fabrication. And I called Patty Young at Rustic Raven Designs, and she was the kindest, most giving. Here, I don't have anything for you, but here is a woman that needs you right now. Her name was Bernie Jesterbeck Hart. She does barbed wire sculpture. She's amazing. So I went and worked for her because she was having surgeries on her wrist and her elbow and her shoulder, and she couldn't do a lot of hammer work. So I learned a lot of hammer techniques and how to cup and use a swage, and it was just wonderful. And that was in Idaho. I loved it, and I never would have thought a beginner's class in just basic welding would turn into something that is a passion that I can't even feed. It's so hungry, it almost eats me alive.
Yeah. That's awesome.
The first workshop for Angels and Anvils that Grizzly Iron in Phoenix hosted for us, we did, Roger came up with a design to puff out sunflowers and teach the girls how to, use a torch. And 8 girls showed up. One girl, 12 years old, never picked up a MIG torch, came straight from ballet class with her father. I showed her how to do a stitch weld around the circumference of the spot that had to be welded so we could puff up the flowers. There wasn't one pinhole in both of her flowers. I was just blown away.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 12 years old.
So 8 women showed up. That's a lot. That's great.
It was nice.
And did everybody walk home with a sunflower or something
what they made? Yep, they all worked on their own flower.
Did they make 1 or 2 or
some just
3,
made 1 because they were a little bit hesitant about the sparking getting on them, and stuff. They're afraid of getting burnt or afraid of the tools.
Yeah.
But a couple girls really dug in and made 2 or 3.
Right.
And everybody, it was their first experience. First time doing metalworking or holding a torch and manipulating the petals and hammering, using a power hammer. We used a beautiful 110 big blue power hammer that Roger has in the shop there. And
to do what?
To spread the petals out on the sheet that we cut the backs of the sunflowers out of.
To make them fatter?
Yeah, to spread them out and make them look more natural.
Nice.
Wish I had a big picture, I guess.
I know.
Because they came out so nice. And we donated the few that we made extra, I took to the Vista conference in California, and they were auctioned off. So
that's awesome.
Yep.
And they all sold?
Yep, I sold all 3 that I took in one batch. And it was nice to see people kind of bid over my stuff. It was neat.
Yeah.
But thanks for Raj for hosting. He was wonderful.
Oh, I have one fun question.
Okay.
If there was any kind of liquid you would want to swim in, what would it be?
You asked me this last time when we were in Salida.
I know.
And there was so much noise in the background, you probably couldn't hear my horrible answer, so I'll come up with a better one now. Any liquid.
Any liquid that you want to swim in, what would that be?
I don't know. It's got to be adult beverage related in some way. I don't know.
I think I say what your answer was?
I think it was
before?
Bourbon last time. Yeah, probably bourbon. Yeah,
It was.
Probably bourbon and Coke. They'd have to be mixed. So, you can buy them in a can mixed now.
No way.
Jim Beam and Coke, yeah, in a can. You just
Is it
pop
good?
the top.
What?
I guess they're all right.
Oh.
They could be stronger.
Take that, Jim Beam. Is it Jim Beam?
Yeah, Jim Beam.
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam and Coke in a can.
No.
Party in a can.
You'll sell more if you put a couple
More
of extra
alcohol.
shots in there. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Keep hammering.
Thank you for listening to Blacksmither Radio, the only show that features women blacksmiths. Visit our website at blacksmither.com to view the show notes for this episode. Keep forging on, ladies.